to a very special episode of the Circle Back Podcast, the show where two great friends get together and just talk about video games. I'm Dan LaMarca. As always, I'm joined by Dan Dufrenoy.
A very excited Dan Dufrenoy.
This is going to be a fun one. We went through games of the last 10 years, year by year. I made a top 10 for each, but generally, we just kind of wrote down a bunch of games that came out starting in 2007 all the way to 2017. And we're going to go through our favorite games of the years and then decide what the best year of the last 10 years was.
Let's do it.
All right?
Well, yeah,
So,
a lot of this sparked because last year was such a good year.
Yeah,
This could be the best year ever.
We had talked about last year and how strong it was. And
Like
we're
looking
like,
through, like there's some really good.
but are there better years? So
Yeah.
we kind of were talking about it, and we're like, oh, that'd be a lot of fun to do. Kind of just a good reason to talk about some of our favorite games.
Mm-hmm.
So going back, 2007.
Start from 2007.
Started up. We have original Mass Effect.
Yes.
Some would say the game of the generation.
Would that be you, Danielson?
BioShock, the first BioShock. Fucking fantastic game. Portal.
Right.
Super Mario Galaxy.
Yeah, seriously, really good games.
First Uncharted, Drake's Fortune.
Yeah.
Rock Band, the original Rock Band. Guitar Hero 2. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Revolutionary game. God of War 2. And Skate, the original Skate.
I don't even know what Skate is, to be fair.
Oh,
Is that like
Skate
a
is such a good
is that like
game.
a Tony Hawk kind of game?
It's so much more than that, Dan. Skate is a skateboarding game, but the whole shtick is you use the right stick to do your tricks. So you click down and forward, and you'll like go down and forward and do like an ollie.
Oh, okay.
And you can like wrap it around, do a kickflip. You like wrap it around, and you're zoomed in on the board. So once you're in the air, you move the actual skateboard with the stick to do a trick that you want to do. It's a hell of a game. I remember the demo for Skate came out a couple months before the game came out, and me and Steve Noka would just play the demo for Skate over and over and over and over again. Literally for hours, we would just play the demo because it was so cool.
That's so funny.
Nothing you've ever played before. It was so cool.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's a really interesting game, a really fantastic game, but it's in a year full of literally some of the greatest games.
A few games that
of all time.
we were just looking. I never played this, but
Yeah, we have.
Oh, sorry.
I just want to say we also. So that's my top 10 that I made.
Top 10.
But we have a bunch of other games listed that we're going to go through as well. So what else do we have listed?
I know how much of a fan you were of that.
The first Assassin's Creed when it came out, I literally got every achievement in. I love that game.
So that was like definitely a watershed moment, at least just for popularity wise.
No doubt about it. Yeah.
Halo 3.
Yeah.
Halo 3. I know you're a big fan of Halo 3.
Right.
I gotta say, I don't know why. I thought Halo 3 came out like earlier for some reason. It's so weird. When I think of the Halo games, I think of me in elementary school, 4th and 5th grade. But now that I realized it, 2007, I was 13, so I might have been in 5th grade, right? I might have been, 2007. So like,
Not if you were 13.
how old are you?
13, you're
Yeah. Like.
Oh, really?
Grade,
going to high school.
Maybe you're thinking of Halo 2. Maybe you're thinking of Halo 2. Anyway.
Anyway.
What else you got on your list?
WarioWare, Smooth Moves.
Great game.
But I really want to talk about, we got Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2. I actually remember that game. I'm not a fan of Tom Clancy games, but all my friends played was like all those games. Tom Clancy.
Was this one of the ones that was just a third-person shooter, or was this
I think that was it. No, that was, yeah. And it's like...
There was a Tom Clancy game that I actually loved because it was a squad command game. Where
I think that's Ghost Recon. Yeah, that could be Ghost Recon. Wait a second.
But...
Because then there was also the Vegas.
No, Rainbow Six, no.
Rainbow Six.
What I'm talking about is you command a squad, like you actually can cycle between them and tell them to go to certain positions and say, like, all right, provide covering fire from this position. Like your
That might have been
AI
one of
character.
the Ghost Recon games.
It might have been like Ghost Recon, not Advanced Warfighter or whatever. But I used to love that. It was just so cool to be like, my guy, I'm telling my AI what to do and where to go, and then they're acting on it.
Yeah.
Like, it was neat at the time. I really remember that one. But
yeah, it's all my buddies ever played, and and all the James Bond
Was
games
it an
and stuff
online
like that.
shooter, or was it? Did you?
It
Just
was
play?
for Xbox. It was
Yeah.
it was for I think it was 360.
Yeah, I never got into those.
Yeah. But there's a game that I really want to talk about.
Uh-huh.
Ratatouille. What a game! All right, so here's a little backstory.
Uh-huh.
I've tried to say this story 85
So
times to
you were 13. You were in second grade.
I have a
and-
younger sister who I love dearly. She's my best friend in the world. There's a 5 years difference between us, right? So I was 13. That made her 8, 7, 8. So whenever we would go to Blockbuster, I wasn't like we would only pick one game for the week. My mom and dad would pick a movie and we pick a game. And like I was never allowed to play like BioShock or Mass Effect or any of these other games. So I always had to pick a game that my sister wanted to play. So we played Over the Hedge, Barnyard, Madagascar. But the best of those was freaking Ratatouille. What a game! You remember the movie with the little
Yeah, of
mouse in
course.
France?
I love that movie.
It's such a great movie.
It is
So
a fantastic movie. What was the game though?
the game was the story of the movie.
But you controlled Remy.
You control Remy, but it was so much fun. Again, it probably sucks, but like,
Definitely.
like it was so much fun because like you'd be in the kitchen and you'd have to like because you had to prove that the guy was the chef and like so you'd have to like go to the corner and get apples or something for the stew that you're making or whatever. But like you're this little mouse and all these humans are huge and you gotta like run and then hide and wait and make sure no one sees you, and if they see you get caught. But I'll never forget there was these levels where like you would have to go into these pipes and like it was kind of like it was like playing one of those snowboarding games.
Oh, you were going around.
You
the
were going
sides?
around the
Yeah.
pipes and you had to like control like Remy as he's going down the pipes and make jumps and
One of
like
those there snowboarding
stuff.
games.
What was that?
So like one of those there snowboarding games. No, I mean, listen.
Ratatouille was a lot of fun. I really just wanted to
I'm
mention
sure
it.
it was fun.
I just
I
wanted to
mean,
mention that game.
You know, it obviously doesn't hang with Mass
Does
Effect.
not
or
hang with Mass
BioShock
Effect or Bioshock, but
and
it's just
Portal
such a fun game.
and Galaxy.
I enjoyed it very, very much.
Yeah, but
But,
2007, honestly, as we look back through these years, this is one of the standouts for sure.
Well,
because
right now you got Mass Effect, Bioshock, Portal,
Yeah.
Mario Galaxy, Uncharted, and you. As much as we feel about the Assassin's Creed games, here's the
Yeah,
the
yeah, of course.
originator,
the first Rock Band,
first Rock Band.
the first Modern Warfare, which was literally
That did change.
that is
everything.
probably one of
Yeah.
the most important games of all time.
Yeah.
Like it is
That changed everything.
changed everything for online shooters. I mean, that's a hell of a year.
Yeah, that's a great year. 2007.
What I also want to do, just for fun, at the end, if we have time, I want to take all my number ones
Oh, compare them.
and try to rank them.
Let's do it. I'm in.
All right, so 2008, I have Persona 4, Dead Space,
Mm-hmm.
Braid, Metal Gear Solid 4, Burnout Paradise, Far Cry 2, Fallout 3, Left 4 Dead, GTA 4, Geometry Wars 2. That's what I have listed. Now, just that list is
It's
pretty
insane.
fucking good, too.
But we're also missing Super Smash Bros. Brawl,
Yep.
Castlevania Order of Ecclesia. I'm a Castlevania fan, so if you're into Castlevania, Guitar Hero World Tour, they released Mega Man 9, Rock Band 2, Gears of War 2, and Street Fighter 4. Now, I'm not crazy about the Gears games.
But Gears 2 is the best of the bunch.
Street Fighter 4 isn't the best Street Fighter, but it's
a great
pretty-
game,
pretty
man.
damn good.
Street Fighter 4 is very good.
so.
What was it? What else did you have on there? You had
Castlevania Order of Ecclesia. I don't know if you like the handheld Game Boy.
No, I definitely do. They're all great.
Castlevania games. Guitar Hero World Tour. I remember that. That was cool. I mean, it was Rock Band, but it was Guitar Hero, and I remember that was a lot of fun. I remember I got that for Christmas.
You know what's funny is, I was always a Guitar Hero guy
Yeah.
when Guitar Hero came out, and I'm not. Are you sure World Tour was that year?
I was
I
on the
wanna
list.
look it
Maybe
up.
I'm wrong. I'll be
Let me look
fine
it
to.
up.
I do remember getting that for Christmas. I want to, but I don't know if it was that year specifically. Check it out. Yeah, 2008.
October 2008.
Yeah, I remember got it for the Christmas.
So here's the thing, Guitar Hero 3 came out in 2007.
Oh, that
Not
was a good
2.
one.
Not 2. So
Oh, it
I'm
was Guitar Hero
changing
3?
that.
My bad. That was
And
a good
I
one.
knew that
That had
because
the
I was like,
Sex
there's
Pistols
no
and the Dead
way
Kennedys on it.
that Guitar Hero 2 and then World Tour was the next year.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
it just doesn't make any sense.
Gotcha.
That's why I was
Guitar Hero
confused.
3.
But yeah, I mean, you look at this. You look at 2008, Persona 4, one of the best RPGs ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Dead Space,
Dead Space is
one of my absolute
probably
favorite games
Yeah, it's probably
ever.
my favorite horror game.
Yeah, Braid,
Braid's one of my favorite games ever of all time.
Far Cry 2, one of my personal favorite games. Burnout Paradise, we
I know you're a big fan.
oh, what a game. And Metal Gear 4.
Metal Gear 4.
You haven't played it yet.
I'm
You're
on
getting
3.
there.
I'm so
You're
close.
getting there.
Almost. I'll be
Um,
able to talk about that.
And Left 4 Dead. I want to talk about Left 4 Dead. Have you played much Left 4 Dead?
Never played
it.
any Left 4
So,
Dead.
Left 4 Dead was so cool because it had 2 different modes that were like equally as popular. It had single player and multiplayer, and they were so unique because if you played the single player co-op, it's you and your friends each playing a different character, just mowing through hordes of zombies trying to get from point A to point B. Really good shooting mechanics. It was based on the Half-Life engine. Like, really, really good game.
It was Valve, right?
Yeah. But then the multiplayer game allowed you to play as the zombies because it was the 4 survivors, and then the people that were playing as the zombies played as a specialty zombie. So in the regular game, you had like these fodder zombies, but you also had, you know, one that would like wrap someone up with their long tongue and bring them in and like damage them. You would have one that's like a berserker that would come in and like ground pound and punch people,
That's
make
cool.
them go flying. You had like one that like would spit poison and stuff like that. So being able to play as those specialty zombies against other players was like such a cool thing. Like I just remember having hours and hours of fun just playing with 8 of my friends or 7 of my friends and doing, hey, we're gonna be the zombies this time. You 4 are gonna be the, you know.
But there was like a story, like you were playing like a horror
Yes.
movie game, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Really cool. The single player, the co-op, like actual story missions, really, really cool because it did that. It was perfectly, the tone of that was just so good.
That's
when you're
awesome.
like going through and you're scared and you're seeing, you know, now every single game has writing on the walls, but this was one of the first where it was like, oh man, look, the survivors like sketch something out of blood or whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it was just, that's a fantastic game. And I feel like over the years it's been overlooked a little bit because we haven't had one in a while.
Mm-hmm. They made about 2?
Yeah. So that's 2008.
Dude, that's a pretty good year.
Really good year. Let's move on to 2009. I got on my list Batman Arkham Asylum, Uncharted 2, Shadow Complex, Demon Souls, Borderlands 1, Dragon Age Origins, Infamous, the original, Flower, Resident Evil 5, and Bayonetta. Now, great games on this list.
I don't think it holds up.
It's not close to 2007, 2008.
I think Asylum and Uncharted 2
Yes.
up there with the
Well,
best.
you know, this is where you get personal taste, obviously, because Demon Souls is like a
Oh, yeah.
masterpiece. But yeah, I think overall, and let's hear what you have.
Oh
on
yeah, I
yours.
put Dan didn't have the first Mirror's Edge game came out, which was like a cool concept. I'm not crazy about the Mirror's Edge games, other than like I think they're really like cool, but they kind of like.
I'm the same way. I really love the idea of them, and I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
they're
yeah.
so interesting. But they're
It's just
not-
like
they're
it
not
just
that
like
much
it
fun
loses
to me.
its loses its momentum a little bit.
But they definitely have their fans. Like
Yeah, definitely.
Those are very popular, very
Definitely.
beloved games.
Catalyst is another game that
Ugh.
talking about games. I was like, I can't believe I spent $60 on this. Like you know, like it was fun, and then just you know, X-Men Origins, Wolverine.
Yeah,
That was a
fun.
really, really fun game. I think they came for the GameCube. I remember playing that game. That was a lot of fun.
I don't think it did.
No?
No, in 2009, I don't think so. GameCube, no.
Oh,
Wii
then-
came out in 2006.
Oh, then maybe it was the Wii?
Could be.
I have no idea.
Or you're thinking of a different Wolverine game.
Maybe it was a different Wolverine game.
This is the one where it's like super violent,
Okay.
and you like rip people up as Wolverine.
Right.
Yeah.
Same game.
Okay.
And you can wear like the different outfits.
Yeah.
You can wear like him back, like you can wear with the hat
Yep.
thing, looking thing.
Yeah, that game came to 360, PS3,
Oh, maybe
and
play
Wii.
360 then.
Yeah.
Okay. Not a GameCube.
Yeah.
Borderlands got on there. Mega Man 10. And then just, you know, I never played this. I just, again, another, you know, acclaimed Assassin's Creed 2.
Yeah. So for a lot of people that year, it's like, what's your game of the year? Arkham Asylum, Uncharted 2, or Assassin's
Creed 2,
Those are the
yeah.
3. So I am in the minority where I actually really enjoyed the first Assassin's Creed, and then by the time the second one came out, I was not happy with the
Yeah.
series in general. So I didn't much enjoy Assassin's Creed 2, as we know. But
Oh, we know.
oh, we know. But yeah, I mean, comparing this year to the rest, I think again very strong. Arkham Asylum's an incredible game.
Arkham
Uncharted
Asylum,
2, incredible game.
Yeah, Uncharted 2.
And for me, Demon
Demon's
Souls.
Souls, I'm done
and,
putting up there.
yeah, and Shadow Complex, I think, is a fantastic overlooked game. But one of the best Metroidvanias out there.
Mm-hmm.
in a time when we weren't riddled with them, you know.
So those 3 games alone,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, great.
I just
but
think compared to
when we just listed 2007, 2008,
Yeah,
and
which is
I don't
just
think
insane.
2009 compares to that.
All right.
A year that definitely might compare is 2010.
2010.
Yeah, pretty ridiculous. 2010, we have Red Dead Redemption, Mass Effect 2, Limbo, Super Mario Galaxy 2,
Yeah.
Cave Story,
Damn.
Super Meat Boy, StarCraft 2, Enslaved, Odyssey to the West, Vanquish, and Alan Wake. That's my list. I know we have a
I
bunch
just
more
wanted
here.
to add Bioshock 2, which I wasn't a fan of, but I just wanted to mention that. Super Monkey Ball. Like I said, I went to Blockbuster with my sister. Super Monkey Ball. Step and Roll. Heavy Rain came out that year. But my feelings have changed on... Actually, I never liked Heavy Rain. God of War 3. I think my feelings on God of War are apparent right now for anybody who's watched. And Halo Reach. Came out that year.
I love Halo Reach.
But I think when you got Mass Effect 2, Red Dead, Limbo, Galaxy 2, Cave Story,
Yeah, pretty
like those
pretty
games
good.
are just super
Pretty
solid.
good.
Super solid.
I also just want to shout out a couple games on this list. The last 3 in particular. Enslaved, totally underappreciated, really fucking great game.
Shelb's a big fan.
Really great game. I think the story of that game is one of the most interesting things.
Who did Enslave? The people that
You know
did...
who wrote that story? Who wrote
Yeah, so I'm curious.
Enslaved?
Hellblade, right?
The guy who did X-Men.
Yeah, Alex Garland, the guy that made Ex Machina and Annihilation,
No.
wrote Enslaved. Yeah.
Are you for real?
Yes, it's an amazing sci-fi game. It's really
No
good.
way.
Yes.
I love both of those movies. I would love this game.
It's a great game. And yes, it was
Andy Serkis.
Ninja Theory. Is it Ninja Theory? Yeah. So
Andy Serkis, the guy who
yeah,
does-
Yeah, he's in it?
Yeah, he's the main
he's the
guy.
main guy. Yeah. It's a great game, and for
We gotta stop this episode.
it
I
was
gotta
a
go play
very.
this. Excuse me
The
for
thing
a second.
about Enslaved is, it became an instant cult hit because people that liked it loved it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people were like, "Meh, it's your average third-person action game," and it's like, you don't fucking get it, man. It's kind of like Beyond Good and Evil, the original, where some people adore that game,
Yeah.
and a lot of people are like, it's all right. But Enslaved, I really like. Another game, Vanquish, Platinum game,
Okay.
probably my favorite Platinum Games game.
Really?
It is so fucking good. It's basically like a futuristic sci-fi thing where you play as a guy with a gun, like any other game. But it was all about knee slides.
Your guy.
The mobility
gun.
in this game, like you go to cover, it's like a cover shooter, and then if you want to get somewhere else, you have like jet boots and you're on your knees and you're just like shooting as you're sliding.
Nice.
The game is incredible, and it's super short, and the story is like whatever. It's just so much fun to
That's
play.
awesome.
Yeah, really fun game. And then you have my favorite Remedy game, Alan Wake.
Alan Wake.
Yeah, Alan Wake. I have some gripes with. I'm not like the Alan Wake guy. I think it has some problems, but it was doing something really interesting. It was literally like you have a writer. This was the basis of the game. You have it was basically Stephen King, right?
Okay.
So it's like you're playing as Stephen King if he had to live out one of his horror novels. And then you're this guy with a flashlight and a pistol, and you're like walking around, and it's really cool. Really cool premise. Again, not a perfect game, but I really liked what they were going for. So 2010, I think, is a pretty strong year
Yeah, I
from
agree.
top to bottom on that. 2011, though.
Oh, damn. Why do we do this? This is like gonna be way too hard.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. 2011, we have Dark Souls,
Okay.
the pinnacle of gaming. Bastion, Portal 2, Catherine, The Binding of Isaac, Batman Arkham City, Rayman Origins, Skyrim,
Yeah, Jesus.
Uncharted 3, and Dead Space 2.
Yeah, I didn't have anything other than Duke Nukem Forever, which was whatever. But Skyward Sword, Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. No. Not too crazy about it. But you wanted me to mention Witcher 2. 'Cause
Yes.
I know you like The Witcher 2.
I love The Witcher 2. I think this year is so strong. I don't want to take any of those games off of my list.
Mm-hmm.
But considering that as an addition, I absolutely love The Witcher 2. But I'm looking at this like Dark Souls, Bastion, Portal 2,
Yeah, no, that's insane.
Skyrim.
Arkham City, Sky, yeah.
Like,
Uncharted 3
you
was
know,
fantastic.
me personally, I love Catherine and Binding of Isaac. I know those wouldn't be as high on everyone else's list, but those two games I really, really love.
Uncharted 3, I think I love just as much. I know Uncharted 2 is a favorite, but I think I loved Uncharted 3 just as much as Uncharted 2.
3 is excellent.
It's so good.
Excellent.
So
that
good.
that part where you're
In the desert?
walking through the desert,
Dude, I can't. Yeah, that's so funny that you were gonna say that. Yeah.
really, really cool. I'll never forget that. Totally fell apart at the end, like a lot of Uncharted's do, but really excellent game. I do want to spotlight Catherine in particular because I know a lot of people don't know about this game, but this is a perfect example of a game that I adore and I wouldn't recommend because it has some of the worst, most frustrating gameplay you could ever imagine.
With the boxes.
Yeah. You pull down box. It's like a puzzle thing, which is cool, but there's a time limit.
Right, you're climbing up from demons. Demons are coming
Yeah,
after
and they're
you.
coming
you
up.
gotta,
Yeah. Did you play this game or you just?
I watched you
watched
play
me
like
play?
a bunch of it. Yeah.
So, but what's great about this game is its story is really interesting because you make decisions on who you're going to spend time with. Like the whole premise of the game is that you're this guy that's dating this girl named Catherine.
It's Atlas. The people did Persona, so it's that sort of, you gotta choose your...
Exactly. And so you're dating this girl named Catherine, and then you go to a bar one night and get drunk, and you wake up next to a different girl whose name is Catherine, and you're like, holy shit, I cheated on my girlfriend, like you're really upset about it, whatever. But it's interesting because it's fucking weird as hell. Like you're literally battling demons. Like you're demon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's a shitty person that is like obviously cheating on his girlfriend. And I'm not in love with all the ways it deals with women in particular. Like, you know,
Very misogynistic
a lot of
and-
times you
yeah.
look back on stuff like that and it's like, all right, like, you know. But I haven't seen a game with an interesting mechanic like that where you're literally going the gameplay outside of the puzzle mechanics is like you're going to a bar and talking to different people and like learning about their lives
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And then you're seeing them in the tower when you're doing the puzzle stuff, and you're like seeing them like for what they really are and not who like they talk to you
Yeah.
as. It's just a really weird game, but it's cool as hell, and I still haven't seen anything like it. So
That's cool.
yeah. I mean, we all know my love, Dark Souls, Bastion, Portal 2. Those are just.
Like I said, just those three alone. And then Skyrim,
And then
Uncharted.
Skyrim,
like,
Arkham
that's
City.
insane.
Yeah.
Arkham City. Oh,
Yeah, that year
Damn.
is one of the best. But what me and you were talking a little bit before the show started, you notice as you go back that there didn't used to be such a dearth of games. You know what I'm saying?
it'd be like
It used to
three
be like-
big AAA and then...
Yeah, but not even when we're talking about AAA. The reason that there weren't as many incredible games back in the day is because we didn't have as many indie games. That's the difference.
True.
The difference is when we get to 2017, you also Game of the Year for us last year. It was like we had 40 games or something because there are so many great games coming out now. Whereas, yes, I made a list of 10 games and they're all great, but if you told me to make a top 20, the last 5 would be
Yeah.
a little weak. You know what I mean? Like, whereas when you get going on,
Yeah, like last
years,
year we
yeah.
could have done top 20 and each game could have
Oh,
been in
yeah.
the top 10.
Exactly. So, you know, it's interesting to see. That was just like
And
a little
but
sidebar.
what do you think that is? Is it because of the indie games, or you think like...
I really do, yeah.
Yeah.
I just think there are
I think
more
games have
games.
just changed. Yeah, and games have just changed in general than what
Well,
were.
it's definitely changed, but what I'm saying is there are more high quality games because more people are able to make what they want to make. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no, not a lot of licensed games, not a lot
Right.
of like weird, trying to take advantage of
Right, yeah,
games. You know what I mean? Like now we're kind of like, hey, like most games are pretty good.
Yeah.
It's interesting. But let's move on to 2012. Another pretty good one. We have Journey, Spelunky, XCOM Enemy Unknown, Fez, Spec Ops The Line, Telltale's Walking Dead, Mass Effect 3, the original Dishonored, Hotline Miami, and the Unfinished Swan. That's what I have. What do you have?
I just added to add to that Borderlands 2,
Yep.
Kid Icarus Uprising, as you know, it doesn't, but like that's just fun. Far Cry 3, I know that's everybody loves, and you wanted me to put Mark of the Ninja.
Yes. Oh, what a game, man.
Never
What
played.
a game.
I never played Far Cry 3 either. Yeah.
They're actually making a Mark of the Ninja remastered.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Which is cool.
Oh, I gotta check into that.
Yeah.
Great year though.
Really good year.
Especially, what do you got? I mean, Journey,
Yeah.
Spelunky.
Journey, Spelunky.
We'll talk about like indie games. You got Spelunky on there.
This
and
is the
Fez.
year where it kind of broke through. Actually, obviously we had Braid in 2008.
Yeah.
We had, Bash in 2011. But this year, look at how
Wait
many
a second.
games on this list.
Did we mention Limbo?
Oh. Yeah.
We mentioned in 2010. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But
That's
yeah,
like,
I mean,
oh,
we've had indie games in these lists. But look at this: Journey, Spelunky, Fez, Walking Dead,
Unfinished
Hotline
Swan.
Miami, Unfinished Swan. Those are all smaller games.
Yeah.
And they're all on this list.
This list,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? That's what's really cool about.
Also, when you look at like
this
the
time.
diversity, like Journey, Spelunky, XCOM, Fez,
Mhm.
like Spec Ops, like they're all just
Yeah.
so unique and different.
Yeah,
Each of them. That's a good year.
that's a hell of a year. Yeah, we've
Crap,
talked
this
about
isn't
Spec
getting-
Ops: The Line
this isn't
before,
getting any
right?
easier.
You played Spec Ops: The
Yeah.
Line recently.
Mm-hmm.
That game's really special.
It is special.
I also would love to talk just a little bit about Unfinished Swan
Okay.
because I think we brought it up, but we never really talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
Just one of the most unique games you'll ever see.
Beautiful.
And what I will say that's really cool about that game is if you give somebody a controller that's never played or that doesn't play a lot of games
Yeah,
in the
that's
very
all-
beginning,
yeah, it's
no,
all-
in the very beginning,
Yeah.
when it's just all white,
Yeah.
and just let them figure it out, and it's just like so cool to see somebody be like, "Whoa, like
Yeah.
what is going on?" Like
Mhm.
I don't because it's so mind blowing when you just have a white space.
And you're like,
You don't.
game start?
You have
yeah.
no depth perception, so you have no idea what's around you. And if you walk, you hear your footsteps. So you're like, all right, I'm walking. And then you start hitting buttons, and you throw that first paint glob, and it hits like a tree or something, and you're like, what the? And then you start doing it all over. It is just so
Incredible.
like that is such like a magical moment.
That's one of my favorite games ever. That really is.
Yeah.
I love that game.
That is
so
such
much.
such an amazing start to a game.
Yeah.
I think. So cool to see.
Yeah, I love that game. And
Yeah.
it kind of trails off a little bit, at certain
It does,
points.
yeah, it
But
does.
then at the end, I mean, talk about the emotions. It just,
Yeah, no.
it comes full circle really, really well.
It's an excellent game,
Mhm.
and we'll talk about what
Gi-
remains of Edith Finch later
Giant
on.
Sparrow.
Yeah, Giant Sparrow.
But
they
I
do
just
a
realized
really
that's
good
an indie
job.
game too. That Hotline Miami.
Yeah, I included that when I did it.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, I'll say Fez.
Oh, that's one of my favorite games ever.
Still to this day, one of the coolest.
Well, there was that movie, right?
Most mind-blowing.
About indie games, and that developer was featured in it when he was making Fez. I forget his name.
Phil Fish.
Phil Fish. That's who it was. Yeah.
Polytron.
Yeah.
Yeah. Phil Fish is a very neurotic individual, and he's had some arguments with some people, and but he certainly knows how to make a game.
Mm-hmm.
Between Fez and then Super Hypercube, he put out in PlayStation VR.
Oh, okay.
Where
Yeah.
you turn the cubes.
Yeah.
in
Yeah. I played that
space.
with you. Yeah.
I really like that game a lot. But anyway, that's 2012.
Cool. Oh, damn. This isn't getting any easier, though.
Yeah, 2013, pretty good as well. We had The Last of Us, Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch, Dota 2, Gone Home, Super Mario 3D World, The Swapper, Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, Rogue Legacy, Resogun, and Link Between Worlds.
The only other games that I'm missing is Sly Cooper, Thieves in Time, GTA 5. I wasn't crazy about it, but everybody,
Yeah, that should be
universally
included, just
acclaimed.
to-
Bioshock Infinite came out that year.
Yep, again, universally acclaimed, but I'm not a huge fan.
Fire Emblem Awakening is a really, really good
That's
game.
a great game. Yeah.
Shout out to my sister who loves that game more than anything. Rayman Legends, and that's about it.
Again, love that game so much.
Yeah, the Rayman games, Origins and Legends.
See,
fantastic.
now we're getting into the territory where I say my top 10, and then we still have 5 great games after that.
After, yeah.
So, that's why we need to include all of that when we look at it year by year.
Right.
But, yeah, that's a good year,
It's
man.
another good year.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about the Swapper and Brothers.
Okay.
Swapper is just a fucking incredible Metroidvania. One of the coolest art styles still to this day, where it
Yeah.
almost looks like claymation and it's very unsettling.
It's like a Ridley Scott Alien,
Yeah.
Super Metroid, but like clay.
You know what's
and-
cool about that game and its art style is the characters all look like claymation a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The rocks in the background and stuff look almost like photorealistic.
Mm-hmm.
And then the lighting,
Yeah.
it has a certain depth to it where sometimes the light's shining on an angle in towards you and you can't see behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it really plays with lighting in a very interesting way.
It's not even that from. I'm sorry, did I just cut you off?
No. I just wanted to talk. I'm really into that, and then you have the incredible story.
Well, that's the
and
thing. Where a game where there's like no. I mean, yeah, there's a little dialogue here,
There
and there,
is,
but
yeah.
like where it's really all just. I've never played a game, or I've played very few games where it's like, you have very very little text and very very little dialogue, and just through like the gameplay and just the atmosphere alone, it's like you get this incredible like story where you're just very very unnerved, this constant feeling of, you know, is this the right thing, is this the wrong thing, and then the ending I don't want to spoil for anybody, but
yeah, incredible.
it's all about like
So,
cloning and
yeah.
shifting consciousnesses.
It's
and,
just really cool because you start out being like, oh, okay. Like you start out understanding the mechanics and you're like, that's interesting. And then what happens is you end up, even before the ending, you start to realize, okay, I'm killing all of these clones.
right.
But I'm the clone. You know what I mean? Like,
But are you even the clone,
Yeah.
or are you the clone of like the original character
it gets
that you
very, very interesting, and
Yeah.
I love games that play with that sort of thing.
like even the guy that you started out with? Are you that guy,
Are you that
or
guy? Are you a clone? Yeah.
and then the end there's
Because here's the thing about it: the shtick with that game is not only do you create clones with your clone gun, but you switch consciousness from clone to clone.
right.
So what you're doing is making a clone, switching consciousness into that clone,
Yeah.
and then killing the actual person, and now you're the clone.
It's
So you're
and then just the ending. There's a choice that comes at the end,
yeah.
and it's
But
just
all of that is incredible, and what we're not talking about is the actual puzzle mechanics, which are superb.
amazing. Yeah, some of the best
So
gameplay.
that game is real
Yeah,
special, man.
definitely. Yeah, that might be. That could be like.
That's up.
I
there,
put that
yeah.
up and then Gone Home.
Gone Home is incredible. Yeah, really, really tight story. Really well done story.
I mean, I put Last of Us, Ni no Kuni, Gone Home, Swapper. That's like top
That's-
4.
that's incredible.
That just.
Brothers, don't sleep on Brothers, man.
Oh, I
That's a
love
great
Brothers
game.
too. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I really enjoy Brothers.
Rogue Legacy 2,
Oh, Rogue Legacy is awesome.
Link Between Worlds, one of the best Zelda
Yeah.
games. That's a year, dude.
Damn, this is just getting it easier. We should stop now.
2014. I have Middle Earth, Shadow of Mordor,
Mm-hmm.
Shovel Knight,
Okay.
Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft, Transistor, South Park: The Stick of Truth, PT, Dark Souls 2, Wasteland 2, Divinity: Original Sin, and The Wolf Among Us.
All right.
So I know you have some additions.
yeah,
Let's hear
after
'em.
that is PT.
Yep.
You said Wolf Among Us. Dragon Age Inquisition, I know you liked.
Yes.
Child of Light, I really enjoyed.
You love Child of Light.
Wolfenstein New Order.
Yep.
Mario Kart 8 came out that year. Destiny also came out that year. No, you're not a fan, but me and my sister really, really enjoyed Hyrule Warriors. That was cool. The Dynasty Warriors, but all the Zelda characters. And like every Zelda character was in it. Like he plays Darunia and, Impa. Really, really cool. Super Smash Bros. U came out that year. Far Cry 4 I know you like. And you want me to mention Broken Age as well.
Yes, Broken Age is awesome.
This year, really, really like. I don't feel like it holds up to
You know what it is? It's
as much as the other years.
Again, you just listed 6 or 7 incredible games on top of these 10 incredible
Right.
games.
Yeah.
So we have a wider scope,
Yeah.
but are any of them as great as some of the greats that are on there? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's when and that'll be the argument when
Like
we get
the big
to
one
it.
for me right now is their Shovel Knight. Like Shovel
Yeah.
Knight for me is the big one that's just like, wow, that game was amazing.
Yeah.
But does Shovel Knight hold the candle to something like Braid or Limbo or Journey or
Right.
Spelunky?
That's where it's going to get interesting
Swapper.
when we get to
Actually
trying to pick
debating it.
one. But
Yeah.
Divinity: Original Sin for me is the one there. That's I've talked a lot about that game. in the
Yeah, no,
past.
you just played it, yeah.
That's just a fantastic, fantastic game.
But still, and that's at 9, which is amazing. That's like
Yeah, I mean the last couple I was swapping in and out. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily rank properly, but Transistor I really like as well. PT, one of the most special games out there as far as horror, even though it was just a little teaser.
yeah.
I also really like Wasteland 2, which is similar to Divinity. It's a CRPG like that.
Cool.
But really,
Cool.
really enjoyed that.
Let's get into 15, man.
Yeah,
15's a good one.
2015 is
15
a good
is
one.
well,
Yeah.
really good year.
Really, really good one. We have Bloodborne,
Damn.
Undertale, Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain, Witcher 3, Rocket League, Ori and the Blind Forest, Until Dawn,
Oh my god.
Life is Strange, Her Story, and Super Mario Maker.
So I just want to add Mortal Kombat 10,
Yeah,
Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is really good.
such a good game.
Fallout
We never
4
put the first Tomb Raider on, whatever year
Oh.
that was.
No, I didn't.
I'll just look up the year. Go ahead.
Fallout 4, Batman Arkham Knight. You know, it's funny, both those games, Fallout 4 and Arkham Knight, were like a little disappointing for me, but still big games. Star Wars Battlefront, I just wanted to mention that. And I really want to talk about Axiom Verge, which came out in 2015. That's another indie game. Is what I really liked about that, is they took Metroid and they made like a new Metroid. And I know, like, I think it got, a little bit of flack because they're just, they're like, oh, let's just making another Metroid game. But, I love that stuff. And, like, if it's, like, a new world and a new story and it's, like, taking something that we know.
That game was very
and then-
interesting in a lot of ways. I think the glitching mechanic was really, really cool.
Mhm.
I appreciated that game. I fell in love with that game when I first started playing it.
Yeah.
And then as I've continued to play it, I kind of fell out of love with it.
Yeah. I just love the art. Well, yeah. Any reasons? I'm sorry. Just what's going on.
No, I was just going to say, I think
Just over time.
there was something about it. It just didn't click all the way. I think the aesthetic, the music, like, really top notch.
Yeah.
But
That's how I felt about Fallout 4 and Arkham Knight. Like, at first, like, really strong. And then I just sort of, like, kind of tapered off a little bit.
yeah, I think Arkham Knight gets a little too much hate. I really do like that game, but it's not similar to Fallout 4. We asked the question: did it lose its impact because we played it before? Because we played the first two.
Yeah.
Similar to Fallout, we played Fallout 3 in New Vegas. Is that why it lost its
Yeah.
impact for me? Maybe, but I do think it's a very well-made game, and it was fun. It had some fun moments.
No, agreed. It definitely did. And some really interesting characters. But I
Yeah,
just
for
think
sure.
compared to... But then again, 2015, I mean, you got Bloodborne, which is legit one of my
You got
favorite
Bloodborne,
things
Undertale, Witcher 3, Metal Gear
Undertale,
Solid 5.
Yeah. Well, I haven't played Metal Gear Solid 5 yet.
I want to talk about Her Story. A
Okay,
game
yeah.
that
Never
does not-
played it, but I know of it.
does not get as much of attention as I wish it would. One of the most unique games I've ever played. So you launch it, and it basically simulates a desktop, right? So it looks like you have a desktop, you're moving the mouse like you do, and it's like an old school, like, Windows 95,
Yeah.
whatever. And your whole gameplay is explore this computer, the files on it, whatever, and figure it out, like, whatever. It doesn't really guide you. So you realize, okay, there's an icon here for, like, police stuff, like, there were questioning tapes. So you start looking, and it's FMV, like full motion video of a woman being interviewed.
Okay.
Or a bunch of different people being interviewed. So what you're doing is typing in a search bar. It's like this whole thing of videos, but the only way to get the videos, unless you're just going to scroll through and go one by one, is you type in words. Similar to, like, how it works on YouTube, where you write searchable terms for your video. So when you type in video game, you get a bunch of things about video games. This is, if the word appears in the statement, it's one of the words.
Okay.
So you would write kill. And then every video that someone says the word kill would pop up. And you can watch them one by one. And what you realize is you're trying to determine, it's like a murder mystery. You're trying to solve this murder because this woman that got arrested, like, it's all out of context. So you don't know who's a victim, who's a witness, who's the killer. Like, you don't know any of that. And you're trying to piece it together by
That's
just
cool.
searching these videos. It's just really well done. It's kind of, it can be silly in parts. Like, any FMV is like, whatever. But it's, this guy, Sam Barlow, made it, and he has a good history with tabletop games and video games. And I just absolutely adore that game.
That's cool.
It literally, the thing that's so cool about it is you can play it with anyone because you're just typing in a search. So you play it with your girlfriend, your mom, your sister, whatever. And everyone is interested in a murder mystery. You know what I mean? Like, let's figure this out. You're like a detective.
Long game?
You know what I mean? No. A couple hours.
Okay.
But there was even one point where I noticed that she was like doing something like that while they were talking, and I was like, that's fucking Morse code. And so I like tallied it out, and it was Morse code, and it was like a message, for like search this term or something. You know, like really cool stuff.
Whoa, that's a little
Yeah.
eerie.
Really, really. But it's just, it is eerie and it is fun because you don't know what you're going to see in these videos
Yeah.
until you click them. You know what I mean? You don't even know the context of them. That's what's so interesting. So
How many videos would you say there are? There are a lot? Like,
a lot, but the reason it's a lot is because they're all split up into short clips.
Okay.
So it's like one full interview video is 45 minutes, and you'll get 10-second clip, 3-second
Okay.
clip. And it's the same video, so you're piecing it together. You might get a piece here, and you're
then a
like,
piece
whoa,
there.
what
Yeah.
does that mean? I thought this was happening, you know what I mean? And then you're like, it's incredible.
That's awesome.
The game
oh,
is
man, that
so
sounds really good. Yeah.
You should play
That
it.
sounds really cool.
Yeah, you can get it on Steam for like $5 or something.
Oh, wow,
like
that sounds awesome.
Definitely recommend that.
Cool.
It's a fun
Cool.
night if you're not doing anything. You
Yeah,
know?
cool.
Yeah. So 2015, really strong year.
Jeez.
Again, we're getting into the years where there's a lot of stuff. So 2016, we have The Witness,
Yes.
Inside,
Yes.
Doom, Firewatch, Darkest Dungeon, Hyperlight Drifter, Overwatch, The Last Guardian, Oxenfree, and Dishonored 2.
Wow, I'm surprised you left one off. You left Uncharted 4. Not a big fan?
I did. I am a big fan. I am not as big of a fan as the
Wow.
rest of the games on the list.
Okay, yeah. Uncharted 4 I wanted to mention.
Yep.
Last Guardian you mentioned. You mentioned Abzu? Did you play that one?
No, Abzu's good.
I
Yeah.
wanted to mention Abzu. Hyperlight Drifter you mentioned. Unravel, I'm a big fan of the first Unravel. Firewatch you mentioned. Ratchet & Clank Remaster.
Yeah, really good.
Overwatch you said. Star Fox Wii U. Darkest Dungeon. XCOM 2. I know you told me to mention Superhot, Stardew Valley, and Dark Souls 3.
Cool. Yeah.
That's a really good list.
It is a strong list, yeah. And I think being carried by The Witness and Inside, along with games like Darkest Dungeon,
Mhm.
Doom, you know, pretty good year.
A very good year.
Yeah. So let's move on to our final year.
All right, last year.
Last year, 2017, you know our list. You
man.
watched our Game of the Year last year. We have Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Nier Automata, Super Mario Odyssey, Pyre, Night in the Woods, Wolfenstein the New Colossus, Cuphead, Prey, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Persona 5. We'll hit a couple more. That was just my 10.
Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, Neo, Resident Evil 7, Tacoma.
Yep.
I think that was...
Really
I
strong
mean, we
year
had
again.
a video where we had about 40 games just like laid out here. So like
Yeah.
this is just a taste.
This is
But
a
this
taste,
might,
but
this like legit
it's an incredible
in
year.
recent memory. Yeah,
it's an incredible
that's
year.
just been...
So, we listed all 10 years, and what we're going to do is, what I want to do is get a top 3 ranked
Yeah.
1 through 3.
Okay.
We're not going to rank them all 1 to 10.
Okay, so let's get some years we can get out of the way.
That's what I was going to say. Let's weed out the weak ones.
I already...
I think 2009 can go.
2009 we can take out.
2009 had Arkham Asylum, Uncharted 2, Shadow Complex, Demon Souls, Borderlands, Dragon Age Origins, Infamous. Yeah, it starts to get
That's the
weaker
thing.
at
I mean,
bottom.
you got Arkham Asylum.
Listen, we have Arkham
Uncharted 2,
Asylum,
those are the
Uncharted
big
2,
ones.
Demon Souls. Like, these are excellent games, but
I can get rid of that.
it's a little weak overall, I think.
Other year I wanted to, I kind of little note. I know it sounds, I want your opinion. 2014.
Yeah.
Shovel Knight's great. Transistor's great. PT's great. Wolf Among Us
Yeah,
is
we
great.
talked about it a little bit as we were going through. I think
It's one of the weaker years.
there are games I love on this
Mm-hmm.
list, but I agree that it doesn't really hold up. This has, Shadow of Mordor, Shovel Knight, Hearthstone, Transistor. Like, I love these games,
Yeah.
but I think you're right. As a whole, I don't think it holds up. So let's get rid of that one.
Okay.
Now we are in the tough territory
And
already.
now you have to make all the decisions.
I think 2008 is a good year. I don't think it's gonna hang because it has Dead Space,
Yeah.
Braid. These are amazing games.
Mhm.
Some of my favorite games in Burnout Paradise, Far Cry 2. Like, I love these
Right.
games.
Fallout 3, of course.
But again, it gets a little bit weak on the back end when we have Geometry Wars 2, GTA 4,
yeah.
Left 4 Dead. Like, these are great games, but
Yeah.
I think 2008 can go. What do you think?
All right. No, I'm fine with that. So right, we got 2007 with Mass Effect, Bioshock, Galaxy, and Portal.
That's not
And
going
Uncharted.
anywhere, bud.
No way.
Not
You got
yet.
2010 with Red Dead Redemption, Mass Effect 2, Limbo, Galaxy 2, Cave Story, Superman.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not going anywhere.
11, you got Dark Souls, Bastion, Portal 2, City, Origins, Catherine,
Skyrim.
Skyrim.
I don't think we can cut that one yet. 12, we got Journey, Spelunky, XCOM, Spec Ops: The Line, Walking Dead,
Such a unique year.
Mass Effect 3, Unfinished Swan.
It's such a unique year. That's the. Oh my god.
It is. It is.
All right. Well,
So what? Oh god, this is tough.
all right. So I want to talk about 2016.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
These are my feelings towards 2016.
Let's hear that.
The Witness, Inside. I know how much you love Doom.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Darkest Dungeon, having a blast with that. Hyperlight Drifter is a great game. Overwatch is a lot of fun. Last Guardian is great. Has some flaws. How would you feel about?
You think that's going?
I have a feeling
Why?
that it's going. I mean, certain games that I love about 2016, like Unravel, I know you're not crazy about. Ratchet and Clank 3 Remastered was awesome.
Yeah.
XCOM 2 is really, really good. Star Fox Wii U. I like that game.
All right, let's cut. You're right. Let's cut 2016.
I enjoy it.
And that's Star Fox with you. Let's cut it.
Though I do want to say though, and I want you to keep your number ones though, because I think The Witness.
You're right. You're right.
I think The Witness could be.
Yeah, we got to keep our number ones.
I think The Witness could be quite possibly. That and Breath of the Wild for me. Oh, and Bloodborne could be the best. My favorite games of the past 10 years, like legit. Like
Yeah. What else? I just want to go back to what else did we get rid of? We got rid of 2014, right?
2014.
Yeah, because at the end I want to do a ranking of
That'd be
the
cool.
of the number ones.
Yeah.
All right. So you say 16's gone?
What do you think?
I think it's a really
I
strong
really enjoyed.
year.
I know, but that's the thing. I think it was a really good year.
I think it's a really strong year.
It's just if we're gonna try to cut down 3, we're gonna have to cut something out.
Oh, we're gonna have to cut real hard cuts.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So what do you say?
Yeah, it can go. 2016, yeah, done.
All right.
Okay.
So what do we have right now?
I think 2012 might have to go. I know it's a unique year. It has a lot of good indie games that we love. Journey, Spelunky, Fez,
Yeah. All right.
Unfinished Swan.
That's fine.
That's a strong year, but I think
Right.
looking at some of these other ones, I don't know.
Okay.
You cool with that?
Yeah, it's cool with that. All right. So what do we got left?
Now here's the problem. Let's look at 2010 because
Did we get rid of 2008?
oh, did we?
Yeah.
We did. Okay, thank you.
So what do we got left?
So I want to look at 2010.
7,
Now the thing about it is, it has
Red Dead.
Red Dead, Mass Effect 2, Limbo,
Galaxy
2.
Cave Story and Super Meat Boy, bro.
Oh boy.
What do you think? So your bottom is StarCraft 2, Enslaved, Vanquish, and Alan Wake. What year was that? 2010?
10, yeah.
You got God of War. Well, I don't like God of War 3. Or Heavy Rain. All right, we can get rid of it.
We have 6 here, and we need to get it down to 3.
Yeah. All right.
I think 10's gonna go.
Okay, what you
What's crazy is we're knocking off Mass Effect 2, and Limbo, and Red Dead.
Which legit, yeah, exactly. I think
The problem is the heavy hitter, no doubt, is 2007 is so strong.
But this is what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to when a number 9 and number 10 are just as good as a number 1 and number 2 in another year.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how I felt about 2017. A game like
Right.
Wolfenstein,
Yeah.
or no, let's just think of something else, or like even freaking Nine in the Woods or something like that.
Yeah.
If you put it different here, if you put that in 2008, or you put that,
No, I hear you. I hear you on
and
that.
I think that's what it's going to come down to is when our 8, 9, and 10 are just as strong as a 1 and 2. and
But
3.
here's the other argument. 2015 has Bloodborne, Undertale, Metal Gear Solid 5, and The Witcher 3.
I don't want to talk
Think about those 4 games. Those are number ones any other year.
Yeah.
And I don't mean any other year, but I'm saying those are number 1 caliber games. Those 4 games.
What are you doing for lunch? Want to go get lunch and just? Yeah, no, that's tough.
I think we've talked about 10 enough to let go.
All right, I'll get 10 out of there.
Now here's where the knives are coming out because I just can't possibly see 2011 not making it. Can't see it.
Here's we got Dark Soul, Bash, and but that's the thing, right? And this is what I think is going to come down to is look, you got your 8, 9, and 10. You got Skyrim, Uncharted 3, and Dead Space 2. And then if you compare that to other years, no offense, I've never played Vanquish, I've never played Alan Wake, but like if you look at you compare, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I get it. I get that. Now, that's the argument about 2007.
We got Skate, God of War 2, COD 4, Guitar Hero. But that's tough because now it's my personal feelings about the Guitar Hero games and the Rock Band games and.
Well, this is all personal feelings.
But right,
That's what
I
this is
know.
all about.
But like we've talked about how Call of Duty 4 was such a game changer.
But what we didn't talk about is I played 150 hours of it online because I was obsessed with it.
Yeah.
You know, like
But now,
you
like,
can't discount that.
You can't, but that's the thing. My tastes have changed now.
Yes.
So now I look at it as like, oh man, this was a time. This is an important game, but it's not my.
The original Rock Band came out. This is the most important year ever. Probably.
That's fair. That's
Probably is.
That's
Between
fair.
Rock Band, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Mass Effect,
Yeah, that's fair.
BioShock, like
that's
that
fair.
year.
Even Mario Galaxy, you can talk
Yeah.
about. And Portal, you can.
Portal. That's what I'm saying. I do not see that one leaving.
And you don't see 11 leaving. So let's look at the other one. Let's look at 13.
13's real good. Look at 13. Last of Us, Ni no Kuni, Dota 2, Gone Home, 3D World, Swapper, Brothers, Rogue Legacy, Resogun, Link Between Worlds.
But that's the problem. Look at those bottom ones. Those are just as good as.
Yeah, I know.
So what do we got? We got 17, 15, 13,
17, 15, 13,
11,
11, and 7.
7. We got Kill 2.
Yeah.
Oh, Dan. Why do we do this? Okay. So let's go one
You
by
know
one.
what's funny to say? I think I could live without 13.
You just said.
It's a great year.
You're just like, dude.
No, I'm saying read it. It's a great
Yeah.
year. But I'm looking at the big four here in 2015.
Okay.
There's nothing else like that
I know. But
except for 2007.
Last of Us, Ni no Kuni, Dota, Gone Home. Those games are special, bro.
It's not the same. Look at these games: Metal Gear Solid 5, Witcher 3, Undertale, and Bloodborne.
Yeah.
And that's not talking about Rocket League, Mario Maker, Her Story. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Life is Strange, one of my favorite.
All right, we're taking 13 off.
I don't know. What do you think? You think 7's a lock?
All right, so it depends on what like our criteria is. 7 for me. 7's a lock for a few reasons. 7's a lock because, like you said, the big heavy hitters. You got Mass Effect, BioShock, Mario Galaxy, Portal.
First Uncharted.
First Uncharted, lock like that locks
First
it.
Assassin's Creed.
That locks it.
Like,
But
you
also-
ticked off everything.
Importance: Rock Band, Guitar Hero, Call of Duty. All right, I think 7's a lock.
I think 7's a lock.
We'll put a star.
So let's put a little asterisk there.
7's a lock.
What do you think about 11?
Is 11 a lock? For
Look at those.
I have a hard time taking that off. But not even that. Arkham City, which I loved. Origins is great. Skyrim. I was
yeah.
obsessed with.
Yeah.
Uncharted 3 is incredible. 11 might also be a lock. But I have a hard time then looking at 15 and 17. Out of all these, I will agree. 13 is the weakest.
That's what I'm saying. You know, like, I understand it's a great year. I agree.
13's the
But
weakest.
we're getting rid of 13. What about 15? 15, 17,
11 and
7,
7.
11. So if we're saying 7's definitely a lock,
Okay.
I think 17's a lock.
I think 17 is definitely a lock. There's no way.
So we're either cutting 15
or 11. All right, let's do that. Okay. So
15, again, has Bloodborne, Undertale, Metal Gear Solid 5, and The Witcher 3.
cool. 11's got Dark Souls, Bastion, Portal 2. Okay. I think I love Bastion. I love Catherine. I think Dark Souls and Portal
You're talking
2.
Dark Souls, Portal 2, Skyrim, Arkham City.
I think those are the
Big ones.
big ones.
Uncharted 3.
Uncharted 3.
For me, it's Bastion, but I know what you're saying.
I love Bastion to death. I do like Undertale more. Bloodborne, but here's the
Do
thing.
you want to compare them down like 1, 1, 2, 2, and just see what do we think?
That might be the only way we have to do it.
So here's the real question:
Dark Souls or Bloodborne?
Dark Souls or Bloodborne?
I say Bloodborne. I know you
And
say
I
Dark
would say
Souls.
Dark
All right,
Souls,
number
but-
2 then. Let's that's a tie.
Number 2, Undertale, Bastion. I take Bastion.
I take Undertale. Okay.
Metal Gear Solid 5, Portal 2.
I take Portal. Well, I haven't
You
played
never
Metal
played
Gear
Metal Gear
Solid
Solid 5, but I also would take Portal 2.
5. Okay. But then again, I'm really loving the Metal Gear games, so.
Witcher 3, Catherine, Witcher 3 wins that.
Okay.
Rocket League, Binding of Isaac, Rocket League wins
Okay.
that. Ori and the Blind
Ori.
Forest, and Arkham City.
I didn't play Ori, but Arkham City, man.
Yeah. Okay. Until Dawn, and Rayman Origins.
Until Dawn, I have to give it to.
Elder Scrolls Skyrim, Life is Strange. Yeah, it's a tough matchup for Life is Strange there. Her Story, Uncharted 3. I think you go Uncharted 3. Mario Maker, Dead Space 2.
I wasn't keeping track of points though.
I mean, even aside from points, I think the overall feel is that 2011 is
The year.
the winner on that. Yeah.
All right, man. 2015 going by. That's hard.
That's harsh,
That's
dude.
really hard.
That's harsh.
Wow.
Hold on. I just want to look one more time. So we split on Bloodborne.
Split them up, Born.
Split on 2.
Let's keep. Yeah, I'll keep.
Split on 3.
Okay.
Oh no, I went Portal 2 on that. So
2007.
yeah, so 1 point on 11 right now.
11, and then what was
I
that?
hate doing it like this.
I know. I bet there's really no other way. So okay.
So I need you to do 1 point there because we split on the first.
Okay.
1 point on 15 for Witcher. 1 point on 15 for Rocket League. 1 point on 11 against Ori. 1 point on 15 for Until Dawn. 1 point on 11 for Skyrim.
3-3 right now.
Yeah, and then they win the last 2. 11 wins the last 2.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
That's hard.
You can't really do it that way, but I think in this case we. It's tough.
It's just apples and oranges because I love.
So we're down to
Okay,
3.
so ready for
we're
me?
down to 3.
Okay.
We got our 3.
7.
2007, 2011, and 2017. Those are the 3 that we have. So with 2007, we have Mass Effect, BioShock, Mario Galaxy, Portal, Uncharted, Rock Band, Guitar Hero 3, Modern Warfare, God of War 2, and Skate. 11, we have Dark Souls, Bastion, Portal 2, Catherine, Binding of Isaac, Arkham City, Rayman Origins, Skyrim, Uncharted 3, and Dead Space 2.
Okay.
17, we have Breath of the Wild, Nier Automata, Super Mario Odyssey, Pyre, Night in the Woods, Wolfenstein New Colossus, Cuphead, Prey, Horizon Zero Dawn, Persona 5.
So this is my. I'm looking at these 3 years, and I'm looking at okay, which game in these years could I leave? Could I leave off?
Yeah.
2017. I wouldn't leave any of those games. Like I wouldn't. I could see each of these being a number 1. I wouldn't want to take. I wouldn't get. If I was on a desert island, I wouldn't want to get rid of any of these games.
Right.
2011. That's
Pretty
hard.
Pretty strong.
I love Rayman Origins. I really, really love it. Binding of Isaac, I could take or leave. Catherine's good. Here, God of War, I could, okay.
There's no denying, I mean, we even said it at the top of the show, it's, as you get later on in years, the strength of, like, the overall strength is going to be stronger.
Right.
But it's a matter of, are the best games of that year enough to outweigh the fact that 2017 had so many great games, but how many of the caliber of Mass Effect, BioShock, Galaxy, Portal?
Right.
That's
okay.
what we're saying.
Right, okay.
Because there's no denying that, like I said, we can have 20 games in 2017 that are all better than half the games on this list. But it's a matter of...
But I think games like Breath of the Wild...
Yes, Breath of the Wild hangs, Nier hangs. That's why I'm saying, this isn't like... I'm not saying no.
Uh-huh.
I'm saying we have to really think about it from all angles. Because Breath of the Wild, Nier, Odyssey, those 3...
Those are top one. Any other...
Incredible.
Yeah.
So there's no denying that. And that's where I think 2011 becomes our number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
I'd say
yes,
Dark
of
Souls.
course, it has Dark Souls, Portal 2, Skyrim.
Yeah.
Like, those are real big games, but overall, I think that's our number 3.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
So now, which one wins, though?
7 or 17. The top and the
first and
and the
last.
last. See, so 7 was so...
The thing about 2007 is the first of all these amazing franchises.
First Mass Effect, first Bioshock,
First Uncharted,
first Uncharted.
first Portal, first Assassin's Creed, first Rock Band.
Ah,
Like, it's just a legendary year. Like, absolutely absurd.
but 17, dude. Every
17
single one of these
stacked, man.
games, though.
I
But
know.
talk about first, freaking new Zelda that we've never seen before.
Yes.
Nier, Mario Odyssey, Pirates Great Indie, Night in the Woods, one of my favorite games ever. Wolfenstein, Cuphead, freaking out of the box. Prey, new. Horizon Zero Dawn, new thing. Persona 5.
Yeah. It's tough, man. For me,
I might be leaning towards 7, though.
I think it's 7.
I might be leaning towards 7.
I think it's 7.
Only.
And trust me, Nier, Automata, and Breath of the Wild they will be probably in my top 10 of all time. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, that good.
Yeah.
But I think overall, you look at a Mass Effect, you look at a Bioshock, you look at
Mario Galaxy.
Galaxy. Yeah. I think that's just unbeatable.
All right.
I
so
think we
that's
give
our
it to
list.
2007.
2007, in the past 10 years, 2007, the greatest year in
It's
video
2007 is the best year in video games.
Followed by
Followed by
2017,
2017.
2011.
And followed by 2011.
Wow.
So let's jump now, and we're going to quickly go through and just do our number ones. And I know we don't necessarily agree 100% on
We're looking
number
at what's
ones,
the best
but we're
game of the
looking
past
at
10 years, pretty much,
yeah.
is what we want to find.
So what we're looking for basically is we're just having a little fun with it. It's nothing, too rigid. But our number ones for all those, we have Mass Effect, Persona 4, Batman Arkham Asylum, Red Dead Redemption, Dark Souls, Journey, The Last of Us, Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, Bloodborne, The Witness, and Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Damn.
That is one hell of a list of games, I will say. I think there are a few that are noticeably weaker, in my opinion.
Like, how do you feel about taking off, like, Shadow of Mordor?
I was going to say Shadow of Mordor is the weak link, I think. I think Journey is weaker compared to some of these.
Yeah, take Journey off.
And we're not taking them off. We're going to list them.
Okay. So
We're
bottom.
going to rank them. Why don't we put, I think Mordor is number 10, personally. I don't know if you're all right with that.
Yeah, you're going to write it down on the list right here.
Yeah.
It's easier.
All
right.
So
one
just
to
make
10.
just make a short list now. Like, do your 1 to 10, but then let's just make a short list of the weak links and we can rank them later. But for me, it's Mordor, Journey, Persona 4, and maybe Arkham Asylum.
I was thinking that too. I was thinking,
Yeah.
like, it would probably be, like, middle of the pack as
Yeah.
well.
So
So I feel like Mordor would be our 10.
we can put Mordor solidly in 10, I think.
Yeah.
It was an amazing game, especially at the time, and I still think that Nemesis system is something incredible. We can leave the rest for now, but
All right. So if it's between...
so now here's the hard part is, again, we have Dark Souls and Bloodborne.
Yeah.
And not to mention The Witness, Mass Effect, The Last of Us, Breath of the Wild. So, it's tough. Red Dead Redemption. So, let's talk about who we think are possible number ones.
Okay.
We did our Game of the Generation episode, right?
Did we do Game of Generation?
We did Game of the Generation. And we gave it to Last
We
of
gave
Us.
Last of Us. Yeah, Last of Us we put number 1.
We did Last of Us, followed by Dark Souls, Mass Effect 2, I think.
Oh, so we already have our list.
The Wild was up there too.
Breath of the
Well,
Wild.
Breath of the Wild is not of that generation.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
So what I'm saying is, we kind of already said.
Last
Where do we put Red Dead?
I forget.
Maybe it was soon after. I don't know.
Red Dead must have been top 5 for sure. Yeah, for sure.
So
So what we're saying is
let's talk about our number one, or possible number ones.
Last
so-
of Us and Breath of the Wild.
We're saying Last of Us, Breath of the Wild, and it could be Bloodborne and The Witness. I'm saying.
Oh, that's...
We're
when we
talking
did our
about right
games,
now. Yes.
Witness and Bloodborne were this generation.
So is Breath of the Wild. I'm just saying. we're talking about possible number ones.
Oh, 'cause the Witness, man.
Because I think that we can say Mass Effect and Dark Souls and maybe Bloodborne. Actually, honestly, for me, it's Last of Us or Breath of the Wild is possibly number one.
That was for me. It was either Last of Us, Breath of the Wild, or The Witness.
Yeah.
And Witness, I might not put number one, but I think Witness would be. I'd put number two.
My
for
problem is, I think Dark Souls and Bloodborne are both
way similar.
I think they're also both better than,
Yeah.
whatever. But that's why I'm saying.
But which one? All right, so it's important though. Which one is more?
Dark Souls is better to
Okay.
me. I know you like Bloodborne better though.
I
so.
like Bloodborne more, but I'm okay.
That's a factor though.
But I'm
that's
okay.
A factor.
I'm okay putting Dark Souls ahead of Bloodborne.
So what I'm saying is, when we ranked our list, we did The Last of Us, Dark Souls, Mass Effect, in some, I think it was Last of Us, Mass Effect, Dark Souls.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, if we're gonna put, the discussion really is, where does The Witness fit in? If I'm saying that Dark Souls is maybe my favorite game of all time, you know what I'm saying? Like, where does that fit in? Because I agree that it's a very special game and that it belongs high up, but we have a lot of really great games here. So it's a matter of like...
And you're right. I wouldn't say The Witness is better than Dark Souls.
Right. And so that's why I'm saying, then where does The Last of Us, Breath of the Wild, so we're talking Witness minimum number 4.
Right. So we're talking about, what are the big three number ones? Dark Souls?
Well, Dark Souls, we kind of agreed on, since we said The Last of Us is higher than
one.
Dark Souls.
So we got Last of Us.
Last of Us and Breath of the Wild are
the ones that we got to figure
possible.
out. And then we can figure out the rest.
So why don't we figure out the rest now?
Okay.
Why don't we say Dark Souls number 3? Right?
Dark Souls.
That makes sense to you?
I'm fine with that, yep.
I would
Right,
be
'cause
willing
number
to
one's gonna be
do,
either Last of Us or Breath of
and
the
then
Wild.
the other one's going to be the other.
So Dark Souls, Mass Effect?
So here's what I was going to ask you. We have Mass Effect, The Witness, and Bloodborne all vying for the next 3 spots, I think. I think Red Dead is at the top of this pack, the lower end. So let's put Red Dead 7. And you got to agree with me before you just write it. Make sure that we're on the same page.
No,
This
definitely.
isn't my-
No, but definitely, and I'll give you my reasons why Red Dead.
Yeah.
So games like Last of Us, Breath of the Wild, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, top to bottom, legit perfect, interesting, kept me going. I love Red Dead Redemption. I loved it to death. But there is a bit of a repetitiveness in it, which I think kind of pushes it down just a little. Again, it's this is amazing games. It's picking your favorite kid.
of course.
we're just really nitpicking
Obviously.
now. But yes, no. So I'm fine with
Makes
that.
sense. I did miscount. Red Dead should be 6 if these 3 are vying for underneath.
Right. Okay.
Everybody has a favorite kid.
Oh, yeah, let's be honest.
I don't care what they say.
So you got Red Dead at 6. Now we can figure out 7, 8, 9 now if you want.
All right. I think
We have Journey, Persona 4, and Batman Arkham
since
Asylum.
I never played Persona 4. I played Persona 5, but
I would be okay with Persona 4
9?
being 9, yeah.
Okay. Now between Journey and Arkham Asylum,
Yeah.
I'd go Arkham Asylum.
I was thinking that too. I don't know why. I really.
And
do
I
have-
don't know why. They're totally dissimilar games.
Well, of course, yeah.
Batman Arkham Asylum. I don't know. Maybe and this isn't even a fair criticism, but I feel like Batman Arkham Asylum gives you a little bit more bang for your buck.
Well,
It's not even about that, but I'm just saying, it's just I feel like Arkham Asylum, there's just, especially as a Batman fan, it was.
Arkham Asylum didn't make me cry at the end of it, though.
Trying to make me cry, I know.
I love Arkham Asylum. I would personally put that above Journey, but I think it's close.
You put
sure.
you put what above Journey?
Arkham Asylum.
Why? Oh, because you just said that. Oh, I'm sorry. They're going to say that Journey is ahead of Arkham Asylum. How come? Why would you put Arkham Asylum
I
over
just.
Journey?
Oh no, you're saying because of the crying comment?
Yeah.
No, I think that Journey is a very moving game. I think that Arkham Asylum just executes so well on what it's trying to do in
I'm
its
fine with
scope.
that. They're interchangeable for me.
All right, so put them in. So list right now we have number 1 and 2 up in the air. 3 is Dark Souls. 4 and 5 up in the air. Then we have Red Dead Redemption, Batman Arkham Asylum, Journey, Persona 4, and Shadow of Mordor. So 4 and 5, let's talk about. We have Bloodborne and Mass Effect.
Okay.
I would love a Mass Effect at number 4, even though I love Bloodborne.
Okay, that's fine. Mass Effect 2 is my favorite of the Mass Effect, but I love the first Mass Effect. So, and this isn't fair. The only reason I put Mass Effect at 4 is just so that Bloodborne wouldn't be right behind Dark Souls.
Yeah.
I personally love Bloodborne more than Mass Effect. Not by much, but Bloodborne. I love Mass Effect. I love that. Also, to be fair, I just came off Bloodborne. How many months?
Yeah,
Probably 2
that's
months
true.
ago. So I'm still on that train. But when I first played the Mass Effect, you were kind enough for my birthday to get me the trilogy. I mean, I dedicated that was all I did. I ate, slept, and drank and breathed Mass Effect.
Yeah.
I was just said I ain't drank, slept, and drank.
Bloodborne.
I didn't say Bloodborne. I just said blood, and that could have been really disgusting. Mass Effect, and that was a really big thing for me too. So the only reason I would put Mass Effect is just to sort of differentiate Dark Souls from Bloodborne. But having said that, I really love Bloodborne.
You know something really funny
What?
that I'm just realizing because I'm an idiot? 2007 to 2017 is 11 years. Isn't it? So we did 11 years. Because I'm counting and I'm looking at your top 10, I'm like, so we have The Witness, Mass Effect, Dark Souls. We have 5 games left and only 4 spots. Well, we're doing a top 11.
Top 11.
That's funny, dude. All right, so
Okay.
so we have 11 Shadow of Mordor, 10 Persona 4, 9 Journey, 8 Arkham Asylum, 7 Red Dead, and then I think what we're going to do is 6 Bloodborne, right?
Yeah.
And then Mass Effect and The Witness. Let's talk about.
Wait a second. 6, 5.
I can't believe we did that. Stupid years.
Okay, so Dark Souls I'm putting at 3.
Yes. Now we have Mass Effect Witness.
Oh, so Bloodborne's at 6. We decided that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You think I'm sure you want The Witness above Mass Effect.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
All right.
Only.
I'm with that. I think
only
The Witness
for
is
the
an amazing
reasons,
game.
again, and again, it's so weird because one day I can say oh, this is why this game's the best, but then the next day be oh, well, no, well, this game's the best
Yeah, of
because
course. These are all incredible games.
it's
but
just
we're
changing.
just having a,
But The Witness did something different. But that's the thing. So did Mass Effect.
Yeah, it doesn't get enough credit because now everything does that. But
Right, but it was the originator of that.
yeah,
But I don't know. Witness. The reason why I like The Witness so much is because The Witness took the fact that you were in a game and manipulated that and was just all right, you're playing a game, and it took that to the extreme where where you have a game like Mass Effect, right, and you have all these characters and you're oh, it feels like I'm actually really in this world and here's this story.
Mm-hmm.
The Witness recognizes that in video games, recognizes that when you're playing a game like a Mass Effect, you're playing these games and you start to invest in these characters and you sort of feel like you're in this world. The Witness takes that and spins it on its head a little bit. And I think The Witness is a great game, but it's such a great, it's also such a great not game.
yeah.
And it's such a great manipulator. Okay, you like video games, you like a game like a Mass Effect. Here it is. This is going to take over your world. And that's why I loved it.
It's a very special game.
Because that game pretty much trolls the fact that you're into video games and will spin it on its head and be all right, this is what you wanted. This is all you'll be thinking about for.
No, it is. It is in that sense. It is a masterpiece. But yeah, I would be okay with that. So we have The Witness, number 4, and Mass Effect, number 5. So 2 and 1. What do you think?
You like the first Mass Effect more than the second one?
Yes.
You just
Also, that's not in a discussion because that wasn't,
right.
Mass Effect 2 wasn't a number
curious.
1. Yeah, the original Mass Effect is my favorite for
you
sure.
just like driving the, what's that car?
Oh, God, no. The Mako?
The Mako.
No, I do not.
All right, so now we got between Last of Us and Breath of the Wild. What is the better game? Stretch before we get into this one.
For me, it's Breath of the Wild.
Actually, I was going to say this.
See? Piece of cake.
Okay.
No, I really just think that Zelda Breath of the Wild was something so special.
Mm-hmm. Well, so was Last of Us. For Last of Us, for what it was going for, story-driven games, Naughty Dog just really hitting out of the park with that one.
Yes.
Breath of the Wild just gave you so many different... And again, see, that's the thing. I don't know if that's an unfair criticism because The Last of Us wasn't going for, an open world.
Yeah, and that's why it is an
RPG
unfair criticism. But
right.
what you need to take them as what they are and then compare them.
Like, for me at least, and again, it's maybe an unfair criticism, Last of Us, I can play through. I'm good. Maybe every 5 years, play through it again. Great story, awesome. Breath of the Wild, I can... There's just... When you talk about a game and just having fun and just the amount of things that you can do and permutations for every action and just like all these... Breath of the Wild for me takes the cake because of that.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite games of all time. I absolutely love Breath of the Wild, and I think it deserves to be number 1 on this list. So let's hear the list of 11 games from 11 years. That was the plan all along.
We had that planned.
We have Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, number 1 game from 2017 to 2007. Last of Us, number 2. Dark Souls, number 3. The Witness, number 4. Mass Effect at 5. Bloodborne, number 6. Red Dead Redemption at 7. Batman Arkham Asylum at 8. Journey, number 9. Persona 4 at 10. And...
Oh, Lord of the Rings.
Oh, it's...
Shadow Mordor. Oh, that's not it?
Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor.
Oh, is that Lord of the Rings?
Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor at 11. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yes,
that was
a lot
so
of
much fun. We love doing dumb stuff like this. So thank you guys. And like always, you can catch us every Monday, 9 a.m.
And leave a comment, your top 11 favorite games of...
Have you been watching other YouTube videos?
Maybe.
Take care, guys. Thanks. Peace. What's up, guys? It's Dan from Circle Back. I'm just here to let you know you can find everything that we do at circlebackgaming.com. If you just want the podcast, we're on iTunes. If you just want the video, we're on YouTube. So catch us either place. Thanks.
Perfect.
Thanks.